of FIFA 17 versus Pro Evolution Soccer 2017. Again, it's just the demos that I'm doing, but the demos say a lot because at the end of the day, we're so close to the release date. They're not going to be very different, are they, from the main games? The only big difference is going to be the amount of clubs that you can play as, which obviously is going to be a big factor for the demos because you can play with. I get the feeling that with FIFA you can play a lot more clubs with the demos than you can with Pro Evolution Soccer. And just look at that, you know. So we'll do an Arsenal versus Barcelona. Why not? So you've got all your options here. You got your different strips. You got your stadium choice, which is quite nice. And you can actually see the outside of the Camp Nou, and you can. I'm not sure if you can see the outside of that at all, but I know for a fact that when you just leave it all as it is, we'll change the general settings. We'll put it up to professional because that's what we were on before. We'll also take it to an 8-minute one, 4 minutes each side. So yeah, you've got your standard, and this is pretty standard. You've got your strip choices. You've got your stadium choices, game plan, which is very in-depth. I feel that it's a lot more in-depth. I feel like this is a lot more in-depth than FIFA. For the simple... I'm going to actually take him off because he's very slow. I'm going to put Welbeck on because he's a lot quicker. I know he's not... A lot of people don't particularly like him, but he is a lot quicker, which makes a big difference in gameplay because I like to play the through balls. But yeah, it does feel a lot more in depth. I mean, this isn't actually showing you the amount of depth that you can go into. It's just showing you the various things that you can do. But when you actually go into the in-depth, go to the normal game plan. We'll go to the normal game plan. I'll show you actually really quickly. So you can choose the attacking instructions, defensive instructions, advanced instructions, mark settings. You can change it to a fluid formation. You line up, obviously. Then you've got your individual player settings, including your captain and your players to join attack, which is quite good. So it feels sort of like it's verging more towards team management rather than playing a football game as a team, if that makes sense. So it feels like there's more emphasis on the actual management of the team than the way you play when you're on the field. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It depends on what you want. It's not really something that I'm interested in. If I wanted to do team management, I'd buy, Football Manager or something along those lines. So the intro is quite nice. As you saw, you could see the stadium from the outside then, which looks very pretty. It's very nice. It's a lot darker. The colouring in this is a lot darker than FIFA. And I think in that respect, I think it looks a lot more gritty and realistic because of that. The tackling in this, as I said, feels a lot harder. Not as in harder as in difficult to do. It is more difficult to do, in my opinion, but it feels just a lot more solid. The tackles feel like if you're going to miss it, if you're going to miss the ball, you're going to do some serious damage. As you can see, the outside of the stadium there again, the city in the background. It looks beautiful. It looks absolutely stunning. I don't know if that's what the city outside the stadium looks like particularly. I haven't really seen it very often, but it does look very, very nice in this game. The animations themselves like this look brilliant, but the gameplay itself does feel a lot more clunky. It doesn't feel as quick. It feels more pressured. I mean, you can see these guys are advancing really far. And when I was doing that in FIFA, they weren't going any... Oh yeah, I've got the wrong... Okay, so hang on, let me just change that quickly if I can. Here we go. I'll change this to Type 2 because that's the FIFA settings, and I'm just going to get confused otherwise. Yeah, there we go. That's better. I'll show you the passing soon. I'd like to get on the score sheet first if I can. And you can't really cut inside as much as you could in FIFA. You can see that there. The players get a lot closer, and it just feels like it feels like the players are just that little bit closer than in FIFA, and because of that, it feels like you can't do as much in the game. I just started to do a good clearance there and go up the wing. You see what I mean though by about the personal space feels a lot larger. I don't know whether the players are actually a little bit larger than in FIFA. They do look it to me. They might not be, but the players do feel a little bit larger on the field than in FIFA. It could just be the camera angle, of course. It does feel like there's a lot less space in this game than there is in FIFA, which I quite like. But I also don't, because you can see the way that they move. The way that they move looks a lot clunkier. See what I mean? It's like it almost looks like they're skating when they turn, which I don't like. I really don't like that about it, and it takes away from the realism, and it makes the whole game feel a little bit more arcadey than it probably should do. And that's what I mean by clunky. It just feels like they're not. It just feels like the developers aren't on a par with FIFA in terms of the actual animations, the actual gameplay animations rather than the actual. But you see what I mean? Like how tight it is. There's no space at all. And if you look at the other wing, there still isn't much space over there. I mean, in FIFA, I could cross it across the other wing, and that guy would be in acres of space for days. You know, but here, he's got a man on him. You see? Which makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot more sense than the idea of FIFA where the guy's just completely unmarked all the time until you pass to him. Which, for me, is what... Oh, that was yeah, that was a goal. We'll say that. Celebratory drink there. So, I mean, we'll watch the replay of that, and you'll see what I mean by them skating, I'm sure. It shows more of the replay, which I like, so it shows the setup for the game, for the goals, which is nice. But you can see, it looks kind of like he's skating on the floor when he turns. So, which is a shame. I think it's a real shame. Because the rest of it's there. I honestly think the rest of it is there. And I got asked earlier, if I had to choose between Pro Evolution Soccer and FIFA, what would I choose? And honestly, at this point in time, I would choose Pro Evolution Soccer. I'll show you a tackle now, and it just feels a lot harder. It might not come through when watching it, but I mean, just look at the slide. Look at that. You see what I mean? See how hard that looked? That looked like a really bad tackle. It didn't look like in FIFA when you do a bad tackle and you go, oops, you know, oh, the guy fell over, oh dear. It actually looked like I went through him. It feels like when you do it, you can actually do some damage. Which is, I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing, honestly. It's just, oh wow, that nearly went in anyway. It's just a different thing. I prefer it. I actually prefer that style of tackling than the FIFA style of tackling. I think the FIFA style doesn't sort of... I don't know, you almost feel bad when you miss a tackle in this game. In FIFA, it's just like... You don't feel bad. You really don't. Like, oh Christ, what the hell was that? In FIFA, you don't feel bad when you miss a tackle, not particularly. In this one, when you do, you actually feel quite bad, and you're just like, oops, I hope I haven't injured the guy. Unless you're aiming to injure him, in which case, fair dues. Oh my god. Alright, I need to get another goal because these guys are getting a bit jumpy. That's a good tackle. That also was a good tackle. Oh, that was a bad tackle. I didn't think he'd pass it on like that. Honestly, I'm surprised I didn't get a booking for that, because that was bad. I think that was actually worse than the other one. But there we go. I'm stunned I didn't get a booking for that one. Anyway, I think the referee plays less of a part in this than in FIFA. He's on the pitch, yes, and he does this, that and the other, but I feel like they haven't worked as much on the referee's animations. So he has very simple animations, and it's a case of... Oh crap, that was bad. Very simple animations, and it only comes into play when he's needed. And I mean, I know that they come into play all the time in FIFA, especially if you miss tackles and things. I understand that. But it just feels like there's more of the referee in FIFA. He's more prominent and he's about all the time, and it feels like... Excuse me, sorry about that. It feels like... not that the game's about the referee, that's not right, but that the referee plays an integral part rather than being a ref. Ooh, that was bad. But you see what I mean by the tackles in this game? They do feel a lot more realistic and a lot heavier. And so, I mean, you don't see the referee jogging over or anything. You literally see him come over, give him a card and walk off, you know. In FIFA, it'd jog over, and you'd have a good 30-second thing with the referee. In this one, it feels tolerable, like you can watch it. Yeah, and in this one, the players can actually get in the way of each other, which is good. I mean, they can in FIFA, but to the extent that they do in this... Oh, that was lucky, that was. I don't know how he got to the ball there. That was lucky. I'd pushed past him, and somehow he still got there, which was... Oh, no, that was bad. I think the gameplay in this, having played FIFA so recently, I actually kind of, in a way, prefer this, because it just... Oh, I thought that was really well done as well. Oh well. Well, I think I prefer the gameplay in Pro Evolution Soccer at this point in time. It just feels, even though they do kind of feel like the skating sometimes when they turn and things like that, it's just the overall gameplay feels a lot heavier, and it feels a lot more like you're actually controlling, you know, like that. I mean, the guy went flying, you know, it was a good tackle, the guy went flying, that was a brilliant ball. And the guy there is stood in the way, which is, you do get that in FIFA, you do get a lot, but it just feels like there's a lot more contact between players, and between, you know, there's more players getting in the way, and it just, I don't know, it just feels like it's more of a gritty game. What the hell was that? It just feels like it's more of a gritty game. The only thing I don't like about it is this is really annoying. I fixed trajectory, so can I actually do that? No. Okay, so the only thing I really don't like about the game is this, and I just find it very frustrating. Oh, that nearly went in. I don't know how to curl in this yet. I probably will figure it out at some point. Especially if I play this game, especially if I get the game and then play it fully. But yeah, this is all backwards, look. So I'm pressing left there and it goes right, and I'm pressing right there and it goes left. So which is weird. It's not something I'm enjoying in terms of the game for that in that respect. The same thing happened with the free kick. That was shocking. I don't even know why they're showing a replay of that. That's how boring this game has been, I think. But I mean, you get games that are boring in real life. I mean, in FIFA, if you don't score 5 goals, then it's been a crap game. Whereas this has felt gritty and intense, and it's felt like a football game. That's the biggest thing, isn't it? Whether the game feels like a football game. I don't mean a football game as in an actual game to play football on, but I mean a football game as in a football game, as in you've gone there, you've watched it, and you're actually at the pitch, or you're watching it on TV, whichever. That's what this feels like. It feels like you're actually watching or participating in an actual football game, which is, I think, what they've gone for. Whereas FIFA have gone more for the televised aspect of it. I think that's the difference between the games, actually. Now that I've worked my way around to it, I think that's the difference between the games. I think this is where they've gone for the gritty realism of football. That was bad. That was so bad. I don't even know why I pressed that. Anyway, I think they've gone for the gritty realism of football here. Whereas FIFA have gone more for the glorified TV version. I went completely the wrong way. I was going to go that way as well. Oh well. They totally deserve that, obviously. Yeah. So you've got the camera there that you can record with, which is okay. I mean, they all contain a camera of some kind, but I mean, with share play now, it's sort of, with the sharing aspect of it, you've sort of got to wonder why they even bother with replays now, because you can just share it straight online. But anyway, it's yeah, I think I've hit the nail on the head with that. I think FIFA have gone for the sort of the TV, not glorified, but the TV sort of niceness of football, where it's detached and it's just a football game. Oh, no, I didn't. But yeah, where they've gone for the niceness of football, it's detached and it's just on the TV and you're just watching a football game. And yeah, you can get agitated, but at the end of the day, it's on the TV. Whereas this feels more like you're in the crowd, and it's a lot more gritty, a lot more intense, and a lot more, I don't know, I think it all adds into it. It's sort of like, oh, that was stupid, wasn't it? So yeah, it just feels a lot more intense than FIFA does, generally speaking. Which is an interesting experience because I've played FIFA. I played maybe the first couple of PES games, and then I got into FIFA, and then that was it for me. I was a FIFA fan, but I'm strongly considering Pro Evolution Soccer. The only thing that is drawing me to FIFA actually at the moment is the Journey, which looks like an interesting concept. Rather than be a pro, it looks what the hell was that? Anyway, it looks like a more interesting concept than just football, you know? Let's see if we can. I think this is over the top. No, I've cocked that up completely. But the Journey looks interesting. Looks very interesting. And I'd like to have a go on it. I don't know if they've got anything like that in Pro Evolution Soccer. It's not showing me anything like that. It's just showing me friendlies. So if that's all it is, if it's just friendlies, and it's just, I would like a storyline. If Pro Evolution Soccer had a storyline, then that would be me sold. Basically, I love the idea of the new storyline on FIFA, as I've said numerous times now. But it's like they've got that idea from. I think they've got that idea from WWE, the old WWE games. I don't know if they still do it now or not, but the old SmackDown games, you know, where you could create your own superstar and then you'd have a story that he follows, and your actions actually change the story, and whether you won matches change the story, and your reactions to the media and your fans, that changed the storyline as well, and it changed how people viewed you and all sorts of things, which I really enjoyed. And I'm sorry that no one's actually done that since, particularly, other than I don't know if WWE continued to do that or not, because obviously I'd sort of outgrew those games, and I started playing likes of FIFA and Call of Duty and all that. Like that was way back when as well. That was like PlayStation 1 era when they were doing that. So I mean, for FIFA to have finally caught up and done it, it feels like it's long past due. But yeah, to summarise, although some of the animations in Pro Evolution Soccer feel a bit clunky and they feel a bit like you're skidding on grass a little bit, I mean, the turning isn't great in this game. It feels like it's all set up for it, set up so that you have a set. Look, you see what I mean? He seems to slide on the grass a little bit when he turns. It's just a little thing. It's not excessive, but it does bother me a little bit, I'll be honest with you, because FIFA is just so smooth when they run. The running in FIFA is just incredible. But that's the best thing about FIFA for me, is the fluidity of the game. The fact that it runs so smoothly. You can do intricate passes, you can turn on the spot, you can turn inside people and that you just leave them behind. I love doing that in FIFA. You can't really do that in this. It's a lot more difficult to turn people in this, which I actually like, because it means that the players, if you try to do it in real life, someone's going to react to it at the end of the day. Someone's going to react to you turning around them. So in that respect, I think Pro Evolution Soccer is more realistic. The tackles in this are a lot more severe, as you've seen throughout some of them. There are certain things I don't like about each game, basically. But the one thing that I really do like is the fact that that thing again. Oh, for God's sake! Yeah, you can collide with other players in this, and they get injuries from the collisions. And if it's a hand to a face, I found this earlier. Went for a tackle, brilliant tackle. The guy came down, and as he came down, as my player was getting up, the hand hit the guy's face, and it was an automatic red. I don't know, because what they have in this is they have what's called player emotions. You can turn them on and off, and I don't know if that has an effect on hands flailing or not. I suspect it might, because I was actually losing that last game when that happened. So I think there was a lot of frustration. I had more shots, but I hadn't scored. So I think there's a lot of frustration. I think that went towards the hand flappiness. If Pro Evolution Soccer has a story mode type of thing, you know, like Be a Pro, or like similar to the Journey, something like that, then I will get Pro Evolution Soccer over FIFA. Because I mean, look at the stadium there. It looks spectacular. Graphically, this game is superb, I think, apart from the skating bit, which I have an issue with. I think the colours are a lot more intense in this. It's almost like, it feels to me like this is oil painting. If you know anything about painting at all, it just feels to me like this is oil painting, and FIFA is more watercolour, if you get my meanings. FIFA is a lot brighter, it's a lot more, as I said earlier, it feels like you're watching it on TV, whereas this feels like you're there in person. And that's basically it for it. So basically, the whole thing hinges on this story mode. If I were in a position to buy both of them, I'd probably get both. Simply for the fact that Pro Evolution left me more satisfied. Left me with a more satisfied feeling. It left me feeling that it was a meaningful match, if that makes sense. Whereas FIFA didn't. FIFA just, you get stressed out with FIFA because you know you can beat everyone. On FIFA, you just know you can beat everyone. Even if you're playing as a 3-star team, you know you can beat a 5-star team. You know, you can do it. On Pro Evolution Soccer, it doesn't feel like you can. It feels a lot more like when you're playing a 5-star team and you're a 3-star team, you're likely to lose. And it feels a lot more, like I say, it just feels a lot more gritty. So out of the two, I'll buy FIFA because of the new Journey mode, because that looks brilliant. but for actual gameplay, I'll buy PES. And I'm surprised by my decision. I'll have a look, see what happens. And yeah, it surprised me as part 1 and probation up as part 2. You can draw your own conclusions